All right, we are recording. So let me put this up. Sorry. You guys, it has been just a crazy day, hence the reason that I hardly have any makeup on today. And it is it is so windy in Arizona. I don't know what the heck is going on,
but
it is
just looking like this because it is crazy. Like dust storms all over the place. I know.
Yeah, I have no idea what the heck is going on with this crazy wind. So anyway, cheers to Wednesday, guys. Halfway through the week, closer and closer to Thrive Palooza. For those of you who are going to be joining us, we are so excited. For those of you hopping on and seeing that my name is popping up as Kendra Morse, clearly I'm not Kendra Morse, but we, Team Hope is Kendra's team. And so we have scheduled all of our team Zooms for every single Wednesday through Team Hope. And so I am underneath Kendra. So my team is a part of Team Hope. But anyway, Kendra and I both log into Kendra's page. So you guys we don't have to keep changing the Zoom numbers. So I am Jamie Lindbergh, not Kendra Morse. And I am super excited. So let me give you a little quick background. I met a girl named Samantha Cox. If you guys were on last Wednesday, you met Samantha. Samantha and I met in Cabo on the last getaway, happened to be in the pool together, and she's super pretty, and I started chatting with her, and we became fast friends. And just so happens that she lives about 20 minutes from me, so we met up for lunch. And little side funny story is she had a little bit of an issue with me, and I was so like, I immediately wanted to be best friends with her, because she said to me, okay, so I have something that's really on my heart that I need to just bring to your attention and ask you about it. And she did. And it was totally misinformation, and we figured it all out. And I just love that she could have stayed in that moment. She could have stayed in the moment of, I'm not sure about Jamie. I'm not sure if we're going to be friends. I don't know. I don't know if I feel good about this, but she just came directly to me. And I am that kind of person. I love that. I'm so thankful that she did, because she did. We have just really become good friends, and she is absolutely amazing. If you guys get the opportunity to meet her either at Thrive Palooza, or you get the opportunity to meet her in Puerto Vallarta, for sure do. And even better, when you make friends with other people on other legs, like Samantha is under Susan Kaufman, under Maria Dillard's line. We are all, for those of you who don't know, under Mike Page's line. And Samantha then starts introducing me to her friends. And that's even better, because then I get to meet even more people who live in this area. So last week, we decided to do a little happy hour, and Samantha said, I'm going to bring my girlfriend, Kristen. Do you mind? And I'm like, no, the more the merrier. And so Kristen came, and Kristen and I became fast friends. We started talking and just fell in love with her. And so I asked her to be on, because you guys wait until you hear her story. So now that I've been talking way too long, I'm going to shut up. And Kristen, hop on, introduce yourself, kind of tell us how you started thriving, how you got into promoting the whole shebang.
Okay, so hi, my name is Kristen Whitmire, and I've actually been thriving it's been almost exactly a year now. And probably like a lot of you, like I was a huge skeptic. I met Sam, we are neighbors, we live right across the way from each other. And I knew, we became friends on Facebook, so I knew what she was doing and what she was promoting and everything. And she had never really like asked me about it, but I just really honestly wanted nothing to do with it. And I am very like outspoken about that, because I just know so many skeptics, and I was the biggest one. Like me and my fiance, and she knows this, I tell it to her face, we would make fun of it. And I feel so guilty about that now. Like he would compare it to one of those like magnetic bracelets that you wear on your wrist. It's just, how could taking these vitamins do anything? I thought it was a crock of what. And I will be the first to admit that. And so it wasn't until one day I had a migraine, and she sent her daughter over, because her daughter and my daughter are friends. And she sent her daughter over with half of a Black Label, and she said, just trust me, put this on the back of your neck, it's going to make you feel better. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I'll do it. I put it there. And I think my headache went away. Like, I don't even really remember that day. It didn't make like a significant impact on me, to be honest. And then, we were friends for a little bit longer, and she came over one day for dinner and she just said, try this sample pack. I just want you to try these 3 days and tell me what you think. And she told me exactly how to do it. And again, I kind of rolled my eyes, but because she was my friend, I was like, okay, I'll give it an honest try. Like I had nothing to lose. And just like how I felt around that time prior to taking that sample, it was like the height of the pandemic, like everything was going on. We were quarantined at home. Our pool was shut down. I was inside all the time. I have 2 kids, they're 10 and 13. They were driving me absolutely crazy. And I was just sad and I just wanted to sleep all the time. I didn't want to play games with my kids. They were just irritating the crap out of me. Like, so I just like wasn't in a good place. I had moved to Arizona going back a little bit. I was kind of recently divorced a couple years before that, and just like not feeling good about myself, like just going through that whole process, my self-confidence was like super low. So I was just like in a sad place, like a lot of people were during the pandemic, but it was just bad. So anyways, I tried the sample and I was definitely a day one thriver, even though I was still skeptical because I didn't want to believe it. But I remember texting her that day and I said, okay, I did the 3 steps just like you said. And I'm like gathering up stuff in my kids' rooms to like give to Goodwill. And she goes, yep, that's totally the sign of thriving. So I was like, okay, but maybe it's just like, placebo effect all in my head or whatever. But then as the days went on, I realized that it definitely wasn't all in my head. And I was starting to feel really good. Like the second day I started working out, we went to this little place, Riparian Preserve, and just like walked around. And like I just had all this energy. So I was like, okay, that's what made me a believer. Like I wanted to get up off my butt, out of my bed, and do stuff and be active, which I hadn't been in a really, really long time. Like no motivation to do anything. And suddenly I had all this energy to like do stuff. So like I know it sounds cliche because a lot of us say it, but it was really like I truly, truly did feel like I was like alive again. Like a light bulb went off, and I was like, oh, I wasn't supposed to feel that way before, and now I suddenly feel like fantastic. So that is how I got started. And then it was only a short, I got my products when I ordered for the first time. And then I think it was only like a week, I want to say, like before I was like, okay, because I was sharing all this stuff anyways on my page, like, hey, this is what I'm trying. And then once I learned that it was free to be a promoter, I'm like, okay, sold. I'll just do this. What do I have to lose? I'm doing it anyway, you know?
Absolutely. I get it. So you decide to promote a week into your Thrive experience and talk to us about, did you hit VIP 800? You guys, just so you guys all know, I don't know this part of Kristen's story, so I'm learning right along with you guys. So did you tell us, did you hit VIP 1600? Like where 800, what had happened with that?
Yeah, I did not hit either of those bonuses. I've never hit a bonus before. And that's really what I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. That, I've said I've been doing this a year and I'd never hit a bonus before. So you see all these people around you, like getting all these bonuses, and people who had just started, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, and they're having all this success. And so it's super easy to get down on yourself and think, why am I still here? Do I really want to do this?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure. So were you thriving for free? Did you at least have 2 people?
Yes, I did. So that was my goal. I paid for my first month, and then I've been thriving for free ever since. So, when I wasn't really having the success with bonuses and everything, I thought to myself, like, well, at least I'm staying consistent and I'm thriving for free. So it's still worth it because I'm not having to pay for my product and I still feel great.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
So at what point, like, I mean, so you must have signed up April last year?
yeah.
April last year. And so, the summer comes through and you're home and you're still not getting close to 4K. What's your thought process there?
Right. Like, I think it was really just a mindset for me. And I mean, I've had this conversation with Sam and with Tammy Battaglia. Um, and it really came down to just mindset at the end of the day. Like, I didn't feel like I was, I guess, worthy of getting those, or I didn't feel like I was as good as other promoters around me. And I thought clearly I must have been doing something wrong. You know, I was still doing okay. And I felt good for a while about the point that I was at. I had kind of like, and this sounds crazy, like accepted the fact that like, okay, I'm not going to go far in this, but at least I'm thriving for free. Do you know what I mean? But on the inside, and I didn't really admit that, but on the inside, I was down on myself. Like I said, like see other people around me hitting these bonuses, but I was still staying consistent and still posting. And even though there were times where I had thought to myself, like, is this worth it to stay doing this? Because I was spending a lot of time like posting on social media and trying to get the perfect picture or trying to like word things in a perfect way, that I really did wonder, like, was it worth still working this hard for? And just once I came out of that mindset to where that I was worth it, that I did deserve it, and that I was no less than anybody else just because it was taking me longer. And once I realized that and had those conversations with Samantha and Tammy, like things just started to fall into place. I wasn't so worried about posting the perfect picture or wording it, you know, correctly, speaking to people face to face. Like I was decent with explaining it through a text message or on Facebook. But once I became face to face with somebody, I just froze and I didn't know what to say because I didn't want to word vomit on them or explain it in the wrong way. So it was just a confidence thing. Like the more and more I was taking these products, the more I was becoming more confident in them and in myself. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, I stopped comparing myself to everybody else and just realized when it's my time, it's going to be my time. And my time just happens to be now.
Awesome. So take us through that journey, like kind of figuring out that it was the mindset. Like, was it something that Sam or Tammy said to you? Was it something where were you at, mentally when you finally realized, okay, I've got to change my mindset. I gotta believe that I am worth this.
Yeah, it was really just them telling me flat out saying, this is mindset. Like, you do deserve this. You deserve to be here. And I mean, when we were out the other night, Samantha used that popcorn analogy that I love, that, you know, we're all these popcorn kernels in the microwave. And when you're making popcorn, they don't all pop at the same time. They pop at different speeds. And I just love that because it's so true. And so once I realized that and realized that I was worth being here, and then I knew that I was working really hard, because I would ask her, like, okay, like, what am I doing wrong here? Why aren't I hitting these goals like everybody else is? It seemed like everybody else was, and she's just so encouraging. You're doing all the right things. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep staying consistent. And now that I've been doing this a year, I think my friends are starting to realize, okay, like she's kind of sticking to this, and we're starting to trust her a little bit more.
Yeah. I definitely noticed that with so many people. If you stay consistent, the people who were saying no a year ago are like, oh man, she's still doing this stuff. This stuff must be legit if she's still consistent. So you were over that whole year, you were staying consistent with social media posts, and you have an incredible upline. She actually super inspired me last weekend with, how to post on social media. So if anybody's watching me on social media, I've been posting on my stories every day because Samantha encouraged me. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't before, but she just really, she is an encourager. And being, I want to interject one important thing here. And that is how incredibly important it is to surround yourself with other thrivers. Like us sitting around the dinner table and then having the glass of wine afterwards last weekend really was inspiring because we were together. We were talking through things and doing and giving each other encouragement. And Sam was teaching us all the things about stories and all of that. I think that is so incredibly important. Another reason why it's so important to get to Thrive Palooza. It's so important to get to living room locals and surround yourself yourself, even if all you're doing is calling up some of the thrivers in your area and saying, hey, let's meet for dinner. Hey, let's meet for lunch. Being able to get together, even if they're not on your team, but being around like-minded people helps that mindset all the time. And that is so incredibly important. So when you are talking about the consistency, how consistent were you with reaching out? Were you confident enough to be reaching out to people? Were you making new friends? Were you connecting with new people?
I was not. And that was a huge downfall. So even though I was posting on Facebook and Instagram, I wasn't growing my friends list and I wasn't really doing reach outs. I would message people, happy birthday and all that kind of stuff. And I would make comments, but not in the way that I should have been to grow a business. So now I've made a conscious effort I'm commenting on people's stories. I'm making comments on people's posts that require an answer back, and I'm friending people, and I'm part of a couple of groups. That was another thing. I was part of a whole bunch of groups, but I wasn't really making myself known in there. So I've narrowed it down to just a couple of groups and actually made physical friends in person with some of those people. So just growing that network has been huge for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember you saying that you had met somebody who just decided to order just from the group you didn't even know. So
right. She was actually my first promoter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's really cool to see the fruits of your efforts in the time that you've spent on getting involved in groups. And let's not forget, you have been working full time, right? Obviously the pandemic, you didn't the first half of it, but now as you've been so incredibly focused on hitting 4K, you really you're working full time and then coming home so where are you working in the business? Are you working it during your lunch break, in between break? When are you working?
Well, in the morning, I wake up a couple hours before the kids, so I'll work it in the morning. And then definitely when I'm on my lunch break, I eat lunch in my car so I can listen to Zooms and do messages and not be interrupted. And bathroom breaks. So when I go to the bathroom at work, I try to take a few more bathroom breaks than I actually need just to reply to messages and kind of scroll Facebook a little bit, make some comments. Check my cloud office and see if I need to do any reach outs, auto ships, and that sort of thing. So, and definitely at night, once the kids go to bed. And so you fit it in when you can. So if anybody says they don't have enough time, you have time, you just got to make time.
Yeah. Working at the nooks and crannies of your day. Absolutely. So I love that Samantha said you do awesome live videos making your lifestyle mix with your kids. So do you do that every single day?
I've actually kind of fallen off a little bit on my lives with the shakes. I used to do it every day, but I still do it, maybe once a week. And my daughter Lily, she absolutely loves the chocolate shakes, and so we make those together. So she makes her little appearances, and people think it's hilarious because she's funny and stuff. So it's fun.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, so I know that you are just a few $100s away from hitting 4K. So I know we will be celebrating you in Fort Worth at Thrive Palooza. Sure. And then we'll celebrate when we come back here, Cinco de Mayo or something. Another reason to get together, right? Okay. So congratulations, Kristen. I think it is so incredibly inspiring to hear that somebody, just kind of sat and was complacent really on just thriving for free. And actually there are probably hundreds of thousands of promoters out there that would love to just thrive for free. So that in and of itself is awesome that you are thriving for free. But I think, definitely staying consistent, then changing the mindset, and then working, doing the do. So there was, it's like Sam said, it's mindset. It's not a skill set. It's really not that hard to get in conversations with people. It's really not that hard to join groups. It's really not that hard to be sharing Thrive on your social media or whatever, but it's doing the do. There was no special formula that you all of a sudden did to hit 4K. It was changing your mindset and getting right in that mindset. And I think that is so awesome that you have Sam and Tammy to really help you focus in and get that mindset. So for those of you who are on, find somebody sideline, upline, downline that can encourage you, somebody that is going to help you focus in and figure out where your mindset is. And really, is it in the right place? I think, like Kristen said, how cool that she's on her lunch break. She's listening to Zooms uninterrupted. What are you doing to fill that confidence up. So that's huge. Vision board parties, all kinds of cool things that we can be doing. I don't want to take up a ton more time for everybody tonight, but these are all things, guys, if you are joining us or if you're watching this on the replay and you're sitting back and going, man, I wish I had that. I wish I had somebody to talk to me about my mindset. I wish I had, let's work together. Let's find somebody. I can't commit Sam to all of my team because I know Sam is crazy stretched thin. But I know Kendra and I are happy to talk to you guys. And there are a ton of people who just really, in all of our upline, who really want to see every single person succeed. And that's the bottom line, is that at the end of the day, and that's why Sam and I hooked up, and now Kristen and I have hooked up, and we're sidelined. We do not affect each other's business at all. But at the end of the day, we just want to see everyone have success, because there is enough success for everybody in this business. So with that, I'm going to say again, thank you, Kristen. I appreciate your vulnerability. I appreciate your honesty, and I appreciate your friendship. So thank you for hopping on and just pouring your heart and your time, your very valuable time, into our team. Thank you.
Of course. Thanks for asking me.
Absolutely. Guys, have a great night. Happy Wednesday. We are at the final couple weeks of the month, week and a half or so of the month. So all of you who are getting ready to hit those bonuses or working towards those bonuses or helping teams, let Kendra and I know. We are here to help. We want to help whatever you guys need. And if anybody is on our teams or last minute thinking about Thrivepalooza and you just need a little bit of direction, a little bit of help, trying to figure out if you can afford it, where to stay, all of those things, please connect with Kendra and I. We would love to get connected with you and make sure that if you are somebody who wants to be at Thrivepalooza, that we work really hard to get you there. So with that, have a great Wednesday, guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.